guys, I'm Trina, and today I am here with Sara Ella, who is the author of the debut novel Unblemished, which is coming out on October 11th. I'm just going to be interviewing Sara Ella today so that she can tell you a little bit about her book. So the first question I have is, can you tell us in your own words what the book is about?
Unblemished is a book about a girl named Eliana who is from New York City. I really wanted to write about New York City because I've always wanted to visit there. And she has this mark on her face that covers half her face, and she's always found herself really, really ugly. She hates to look in the mirror. She's been made fun of her whole life for this mark on her face. And she has this mark, and she comes to find out that it is not what it seems. And the pitch that I gave when I was pitching this to my agent at a writer's conference 3 years ago was, let me see if I can remember it. What if you discovered that the birthmark you always thought was a curse was the key to another world's salvation? And so it's an urban fantasy, so it deals with our real world and then a fantasy made-up world. There is a map for you map lovers out there.
The map is really awesome.
It's a love story. Besides being about like self-discovery and self-worth, it's also a love story.
What was your inspiration for the story? How did you come up with the plot?
Well, I always really struggled growing up with like self-image and self-worth. Even as a 31-year-old woman, I still struggle with it quite a bit. I've always struggled with like skin issues and acne, and I think as girls and women we always are going to find something that we don't like about ourselves, and I just kind of wanted to write about that. I feel like it is a relevant issue for teens, especially in this day and age when we're dealing with so much social media and like filters and like me, I do it too. I filter and edit like my blemishes, unblemished, off of my face and make my face look a little bit more photoshopped. And I think, you know, the biggest thing that I kind of wanted to make known in writing this was that, you know, it's okay to be you, like the way that you are. There's nothing wrong with the way that you are, and we need to stop looking at these pictures of these photoshopped and airbrushed models in magazines and stop feeling like embarrassed to just post a unfiltered selfie. So yeah, that's just kind of where my heart was with it.
Once you knew that you wanted to write this book, how long did it take you to piece together the plot?
It really depends on where I'm like marking it from, because way back, like in 2008, I started kind of knowing that I wanted to write a book about a teenage girl. If you guys have watched my channel at all, you know that my mom died in 2012, and it was in 2012 that I just really got the motivation, and that's when I wrote the first chapter. I'm not gonna give it away, but if you've read the first chapter, for those who have ARCs, you can kind of see how my mom's death affected my writing a little bit. So from 2012, I started, and then it was 2014 that I finally I joined a writing organization and I got a critique partner. So it took me that whole year, 2014 to 2015, to kind of piece the plot together, and then another year to get a writing contract, and then the plot, like it's changed a lot in editing. It's still the same plot, but it's deeper.
What types of things do you do to help improve your writing? Like, do you read other books in the genre, or do you talk to other author friends?
All of the above.
Okay.
I definitely got into reading YA, especially when I started being on BookTube. I definitely read books in the genre, books that have similar themes, or like if I want a good love triangle, because I love love triangles, I'll read books about love triangles. And then, you know, reading books on the craft definitely helps. Self-editing for fiction writers is a good one, a novel idea. is another good one. Of course, you guys have probably heard of Stephen King's On Writing. Going to writers' conferences and talking to my author friends, and writers' conferences is where I met a lot of my author friends, and that's been a huge motivator, especially since becoming published, because trying to write on a deadline is a totally different experience. And so kind of crying to my friends and saying, this book is gonna suck. They're like, it's okay, it's supposed to. And then definitely having an editorial team, a publishing team who's kind of come alongside me too. So all of that just kind of combined has helped me.
Can you tell us what your writing process is like? Do you know the term like pantser or plotter?
Mm-hmm.
Are you either one of those?
It depends on my mood. I have in mind what is going to happen, like the main things, like the beginning, the like some things that happen, and then the end. Usually I just start writing, and I always try to find something like really grabbing for the introduction, or shocking or tension filled, and then it kind of like evolves from there. So with the first book, I didn't outline anything at all, and so it all just kind of was evolving as it went, and then I had to write a synopsis to be able to pitch it, and that was weird, like trying to explain things. For the second book, I went through and I wrote a synopsis for my editor, and I kind of liked that, because then I had like key points. I don't like to write a like point by point outline, because then I feel kind of boxed in. Mm-hmm. And I'm very much an author who I like to get to the end of a chapter and be like, oh, like something like that I'm like this, and it just kind of comes out, and I didn't even expect this kind of shocking thing or this moment to happen. It just kind of comes out of me, and that can be a problem too, because sometimes I write myself into a corner and I have to delete quite a bit. The first draft is always mostly dialogue and what we'd call talking heads, because I love dialogue. And then I have to go back through and I add like descriptions, and I kind of like go back through and add layers. Yeah, it's just kind of, it's all over the place. I wish I could be more specific. It's different for every person.
You have the deal for 3 books currently, but if they do well, would you consider taking the story further than that, or do you know you're just going to be done after 3 books?
I would consider it. It just depends. I did have in mind to do novellas for specific characters. I really love like how the Selection series has novellas. The Shatter Me series has the novellas in between, which is what I had really wanted to do. A novella for a couple different characters and their kind of backstories, because throughout the novels we kind of get pieces of things that have happened to them in the past, but I really kind of wanted to do novellas on the side to go more in depth with that. I didn't get contracted for those at this point, but if it did well, if you guys want novellas, my publisher did say if I did want to write and publish the novellas, if that was something that was on demand.
So I've read a bit of the arc so far, and I know that the main character has had several music references, and I know you've told me that some of the chapter titles are music lyrics, and I know you and the main character love music. So how much did music inspire you when you wrote, and did you have a writing playlist, and what was on it?
Yes, you can actually check out my playlist on Spotify. It's the official Unblemished playlist if you follow me on Spotify, or I could give Trina the link to that if you have Spotify.
I can put it down below.
It's really, music. I have to have a theme song for my book, and when I was writing the first book, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the show Smash. There's this song from the second season called Heart-Shaped Wreckage, and that was kind of very inspiring for me when I first started writing Unblemished, and then later on the song The Words by Christina Perry became hugely inspirational to me. So music definitely I always have to listen to music. I always listen to songs like the songs with lyrics from my playlist when I'm trying to just sit and I close my eyes to get inspired. But then as I'm writing, I'll have non-lyrical music playing because lyrics can be distracting while you're trying to type. Definitely music is always a part of my writing.
What book release for the rest of the year are you most excited about?
Can I say two?
Sure.
Okay, so definitely Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and then A Time to Rise by Nadine Brandes, which comes out I think shortly after my book comes out.
What is the best book that you've read so far this year?
That's really easy. It's definitely The Siren by Kara Cass. I loved that book. I read it in like 2 days, and I love anything. She's an auto-buy author for me. I love Kara Cass.
What are some of your favorite books or series outside of just this year?
Shatter Me series by Tahira Mafi, the Selection series by Kara Cass, the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, Storm Siren series by Mary Weber, the Out of Time series by Nadine Brandes.
What are some other YA books or series that if we like those, your book Unblemished is kind of comparable to them? We might like Unblemished as well.
So I'd say the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson, the Iron King series by Julie Kagawa, and then it's very fairy tale-ish, and so I've heard it, some people and some other authors who have written quotes for me for the book compare it to Once Upon a Time, which is my favorite show, so it's definitely had some inspiration there with the different worlds and the different kind of fairy tale vibes. The Selection series by Kara Cass, I really love strong female heroines. I love America Singer. I think she goes through some great growth, and I think my main character, Ileana, goes through similar growth.
That's all the questions I have for you today. Thank you so much for doing an interview with me on my channel. I'm so excited for your book. If you guys don't know, Sara Ella is a booktuber. She has a channel called Sara Ella, and I'll put links to that up here and also in the description box. And once again, Unblemished comes out on October 11th, so don't forget to check it out if you like YA urban fantasies or fairy tales or romance or characters with great growth arcs, right? Get all that works. And if you guys have any other questions for her, don't hesitate to leave those down in the comments and I'll let her know. Thanks again, Sara Ella, for being on my channel for this interview.
Thank you for having me, Trina. It was my pleasure.
And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the comments. Bye!
I was coming to the conference this year thinking I didn't have to pitch my book again.
Oh no!
Now I'm like, wait, what is my book about? My author friends has been, hang on, there's a plane.
This isn't awkward at all.
I don't know how to answer short. I'm a writer.
And I'm gonna... she can let you guys know where am I going with that.
I'm waiting for you to take a breath so I can say thank you.
Well, that could be all the questions.
Okay.
Do you think everything was answered?
Yeah, I don't know if it's answered good, but I answered it. Bye.